We're now at 7:53, and our guests for the remainder of the hour are Annie Folck and Amy Seiler. Our News Extra program is being brought to you today by Gehring Civic Center. And welcome, ladies, back to the program.
Good morning.
Annie, tell us a little bit about this Green Up Westmoor project that's coming up.
We have a project. We're working with the Forest Service and Westmoor Elementary and the Cub Scouts, and Panhandle Co-op is Westmoor Elementary's adopt-a-school partner. And we had a couple of goals that we're trying to reach with this program. We're going to get some trees planted at the elementary itself, but we're also trying to get some street trees planted in our neighborhoods as well. That's one of the big goals of the Nebraska Forest Service, is to increase our street tree planting. So the way the program works is we already ordered in 100 trees for our neighborhoods for anyone who lives within the Scottsbluff city limits, and those trees are available for $15 each. And if anyone wants to plant those trees, they just need to go down to City Hall and pay for them, and then come on Saturday when we do our tree planting event at Westmoor Elementary and pick them up. We're going to be meeting at Westmoor at 8 o'clock and planting 10 additional trees at the school itself. That's the plan right now. Depending on weather, we may have to postpone, but as of right now, that's still our current plan.
Okay, so by coming Saturday, you can pick up the trees, but also then get a demonstration of how to plant that tree properly in your yard.
Right. There's a lot of common mistakes that people make, and our area is not the easiest place to get trees to grow, and so we're hoping that by people taking 15-20 minutes to watch a quick demonstration, they can be as prepared as possible to give that tree the best chance of living.
We should say that Annie is with the city of Scottsbluff's, I don't know what department you're in.
Stormwater.
Something growing. Stormwater, all right. And Amy's with the Nebraska Forest Service. We'll come back and visit with her about some of those tips on planting trees right after this.
And the premier facility of the Gehring Civic Center makes this the place for your reunions and small groups, with professional staff to assist in event planning and the meat shop's 49 years of catering experience.
Annie just about covered it right there. That was very good.
Come to the facility at 436-6888 or visit us at www.geringciviccenter.com. The Gehring Civic Center, pushing the outside in your communities.
On our News Extra program, we're visiting with Annie Folck and Amy Seiler about this upcoming project over at Westmoor on Saturday at 8 o'clock. And we mentioned that part of that will be a demonstration of how to properly plant trees. And Amy Seiler, you know about that a bit and did so at our spring show. And I thought it was really interesting to learn about finding that lateral root and making sure we don't make some of those mistakes with the root ball of these container-grown trees.
You know, I think that all of us have probably planted a tree in the past, and possibly that tree has grown or survived, but there really is a key way to plant a tree that you can get optimal growth from that tree. And what we have noticed in the past is that we plant a lot of our trees too deeply. And so those trees may survive for 5, 10, maybe even 15 years, but they don't grow very quickly. You might get maybe 3 inches of growth off a tree that you should typically get maybe 12 to 15 inches. So in learning to plant them correctly, you really can get your tree to be healthier, to have more growth on it, and then it benefits you so much more more quickly. You're saving money on your energy bills, you're preserving our streets, you're adding to the quality of life of our communities because we have these healthy trees.
So how many trees will you be planting Saturday?
Okay, at the school we will be planting 10 trees, and we've tried to strategically locate those on the campus where some of them will be shading the building and some of them will be canopying over the east side of the school, the east street. So a big push is for us to be planting street trees so that they are preserving our streets. A street that is shaded will not need to be maybe chipped and oiled, maintained. Basically, a typical street that doesn't have any trees, maybe you do that every 7 years. When you have a canopy over it, that can be prolonged to like every 14 or 15 years. So you're having a considerable savings in your community.
So not only the ground preparation, the soil preparation, how to dig the hole, but also how to site that tree within the landscape will be a part of what we do Saturday.
Exactly, and we are really going to be talking about some great species that grow out here in the high plains, and just getting people more familiar with some of the native species that we should be planting and maybe the adapted species, because obviously we're in a drought. We need to be planting trees that are appropriate for our area that can withstand these conditions that we've seen the last couple of years.
Now, whether you get the trees through this project or not, you're sure welcome to come out to this program, right?
Yes, you're, even if you're not within the city limits, please come and participate in this demonstration, learn about our species diversity that we're really encouraging. I think it's going to be a great morning of educating, and then you can just hop over to the Earth Day program at the co-op. So.
Sure, there you go. So very good. Well, thanks, ladies, for coming by and being with us, and thanks for being at our spring show last weekend. We much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
That's our program this morning, brought to you by the folks at Gering Civic Center.